Okay, so I'm ready to talk about this. Now I literally just made a video literally last week saying that the future does not look grim for if Rodgers does retire after this season, and what we're gonna have left, and even like 5 years down the line when a bunch of these people now are rookies, second-year players going for their extensions or whatever. Talking about that, and I said, this is like we're on the down the down part of the roller coaster right now. We're going down, and the Jets loss made it that much worse. And I could have said basically the exact same thing that I said in that video. I could have posted that today after the Jets loss, and it would have meant the same exact thing that it did. It was the last Thursday or Friday whenever I posted it. So, I 'could go a whole 10 different ways. Like, there's 10 different ways I could go about this video, talking about this, talking about that. And right now, I don't really have a script because, again, there's just so much I could talk about. But one thing I do want to start is, start a little positivity here. I did see a stat this morning that said the Packers started 3-3 that 2010 season. They won the Super Bowl. Now, obviously, they snuck in at the 6th seed, so, we would have to sneak in as like 6th or 7th seed possibly. But they were able to sneak in. Now, I feel like we probably had better wide receivers back then. I feel like, was our run game better? I don't know how good our run game was. Probably better that season. But there's positive, here. I mean, they have talent on the roster and whatnot. So it's not like, I mean, I can't even say the Jags because the Jags kind of have some talent at least. Texans, let's go Texans. Texans don't really have talent. So let's say, we could be the Texans where we just don't have talent at all. Like really anywhere around. Now there's going to be some Texans fans like, yeah, we have this guy, we have that guy, we have this guy, we have that guy. It's like, well, oh well. So we could be talentless. In the past, history repeats itself, so positives. Now, negatives. Let's start from the top down, and, well, not really the top, but let's start with coaching here. We'll talk about Rodgers in a minute, but I want to start with Matt LaFleur. I want to start with Joe Barry. Now, me, personally, I know a bunch of people do not like Joe Barry, and I want to start with him first because I have less to say about him. I am not upset with him. I'm not really upset with him because last year, his first season, the second half of the season, and is when he really got going, is when the defense really took a step forward. Now, they didn't look terrible against the Giants, but there was improvement. There was backlash after the Giants lost. Sorry, did I say Giants? The Jets. Just yesterday, the Jets. There was backlash, obviously, after the Giants game, and Joe Barry addressed it. He came out and said, hey, we'll fix some things. We'll put Jair more so in man and whatnot. And they did that. And, I mean, technically, the Jets only allowed, or the Packers defense only allowed technically one touchdown on offense, I believe, right? It's 27-10. And then you have the blocked punt. So that'd be 20, and then you have one. Where am I missing a touchdown for? I guess they allowed two. I can't. I don't remember the other one. You had one. Breece Hall was Breece Hall was the one. Was there another? I can't remember the other one now. Now I'm second questioning. Now I'm making myself look worse by believing in Joe Barry and then second questioning myself. So we'll say two. I don't remember the other one. I just remember the Breece Hall one. I remember the blocked punt one. That's all I really remember. And that's really all the points they needed to win. Like, they only needed 14 because we put up 10, so. But, you know, you have to put the defense out there so much because the offense goes 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Punt, 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 punt. Return 20 yards, return 15 yards, return 30 yards. You know, the defense is constantly being out there, so they're constantly being tired because the offense can't do anything. So I put less blame on the defense because they're trying to hold everything together, and they're not doing that. And that's why I'm not calling for Joe Barry's head. I know some people are. Some people think the running game has been bad. You know, we're getting torched by these. I mean, are the Jets good? I don't know. They have this weird thing where, like, every 5 to 7 years, they're randomly good one year, and then they drop, and then they plummet again. They'll make the playoffs that one year, usually, and then they just plummet. And it's so weird, but it's always how the Jets have been. So this is that one year where it's like, okay, well, they might make the playoffs in a stacked AFC. But even AFC teams, Ravens look bad. Browns just got destroyed. Patriots, I mean, I don't know. Like, so who knows if the Jets are good or bad? I don't know what to say there. The Packers feel bad to me. Now, you know, they were talking on the broadcast that this was a real test for the Jets and whatnot. I don't think so. I think the Packers are just flat out bad right now. I think they are. I don't think they're a playoff contending team. I don't think they're... Right now, they're not really on the edge of... Well, they are technically on the edge of playoffs, but I don't see them winning more than maybe 8 games, 9 stretching. I think 8 games is like the peak right now. 6 weeks in, and they can only win maybe 5 more games. Maybe 5 more games. So I don't know. I don't know if this was really a test for the Jets. I mean, you did go on the road, so you know I can give you credit for that. But you lost to the Ravens, and the Ravens aren't even that good. So I don't know. They have the Bills. I think it's next week they play the Bills, so that'll be a real test for them. But you know, this offense, Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers. First of all, let's start out with the press conferences yesterday. We'll skip the game. Let's start with the press conferences yesterday. Rodgers came out and said, yeah, you know, don't worry about it. We're good to go. You know, we don't need to panic yet. Matt LaFleur said the opposite and said, hey, everything's on the table. We don't know what's going to happen. You know, we're going to try to fix this. And he was like panicking. And when your QB and your head coach, your franchise QB, when they're both saying different things to the media, they're not even on the same page. Like, it's frustrating because Rodgers has basically come out and been the positive one every week saying, hey, you know, we got this, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. And Matt LaFleur's just been the one that goes, we'll fix it. Everything's on the table. The basic coach thing. It just... I don't like Matt LaFleur. I don't. I've never really liked the coaching pick. We made the playoffs, yes, but he's shown me time and time and time again they can possibly win a playoff game, but they don't know how to get over the hump. They don't know how to beat a second team, beat that final, you know, one of the final 4 teams, or I guess one of the final 2 teams in the NFC. Like, when you get to the NFC Championship game, you don't know how to beat that other team that, did San Francisco, I think San Francisco had a bye. The Bucks did not have a bye, and then San Francisco did not have a bye because they were playing wild card, right? Yeah, they play wild card. So when you have a team that's coming off of the wild card and wins a game and you lose the divisional round, you have a team that comes off of the wild card, wins the divisional round, and then wins the NFC Championship game. You have teams that are constantly every single week playing. We, the Packers, have had byes back-to-back years. I believe they had a bye in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, too. So we've been constantly getting up there and getting byes, and they have 2 weeks to prep, and nothing changes. No scheme has changed in the past 3. Okay, well, his rookie year changed the first year. I will admit that. But since that second year of coaching, nothing's changed. Nothing's got better. Everything just kind of got stale. Everyone's figured out the Packers. Everyone's figured out the coaching, figured out who Matt LaFleur is. And when you have Kyle Shanahan, who Matt LaFleur has worked with for years before getting his head coaching job, nothing works. Nothing. You have this guy in the same tree. He knows you well. You should know him well. First time, complete blowout. His rookie year as head coach, I didn't even expect to make the NFC Championship game that year. I thought we overachieved that his first year. He comes to Lambeau the third time, the third playoff series, or third time making the playoffs in a row. He comes to Lambeau this time. Last time we went out to the Niners field. This year they come to you in January, in winter, and they're the ones looking like the Packers, looking like they can handle the cold. A West Coast fucking team that does not have fucking snow on the ground comes in and just demolishes you. Offense, complete fucking trash. Special teams, complete fucking trash. And that's how it's been. Tom Brady came into fucking Lambeau too and did the exact same fucking thing. Now the defense was trash that year too. Okay? I'm not going to put everything on the offense that year. But when you had one of the fucking top tier offenses that year, Brady comes in and they can't beat him. You beat the Rams. Whoop-de-doo. You beat the fucking Rams. The Rams weren't even that good that season. They had Jared Goff. The offense has gone downhill. There goes the frickin' remote. I accidentally hit it. It's gotten stale. Nothing's changed. Nothing's new. Teams are going to figure that out. They figured it out easily. These top tier teams figured it out easily. And in the case of the Niners, 2019 made the Super Bowl. Bucks won the Super Bowl. Niners only lost to the Rams because of a dropped interception. They would be in the Super Bowl again if they did not, if that one corner or safety, whoever it was, did not drop that football. Did not drop the ball. I'm tired of Matt LaFleur. I'm tired of the stupid offense he runs. Nothing is going to change. This year, again, nothing has changed at all. No adjustments were made. After we called him out, after the media called him out, and the beat reporters sat in there last week and said, what's going on, what needs to change, blah, 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 and Matt LaFleur said, we will change. You did not fucking change. Nothing has changed at all. In the past week, in the past 4 games, you go to fucking Tampa. You win that game. You put up 14. Should have been 21, but Aaron Jones fumbled on the fucking goal line. Put up only 14 and put up 0 fucking points in the second half. How? Even games you're winning, you're looking trash. This is what it's been. Ever since that Colts game, I've been critical. I've been saying this is what's going to lose us games is this coaching by Matt LaFleur. He does not know how to coach a team. I let it slide because, again, it was newer. It was different-ish than what his rookie year was, but it wasn't going to work out. And he's just not been doing any better. So, now, I know people are going to come here, if people even see this video, because who knows at this point if they're going to see this video. Who knows if they're going to watch 14 and a half minutes into this video. They're going to talk about, oh, well, it's Devontae Adams. You know, Rodgers had a weapon, and now he's got 2 new rookies. You got Amari Rodgers' second year. You got Randall Cobb, who, you know, thank God is not done for the season. You got Alan Lazard, who's been in the system for a couple of years now. And you have basically nobodies at wide receiver. And they're going to say, okay, well, this is a work in progress offense. And this is, you know, brand new for these rookies. And, you know, Amari Rodgers is just getting his footing in this offense too. Cobb is just coming back, getting his footing. Yes, that's true. But what happened to the fucking O-line? What happened to Rodgers? Rodgers was just a back-to-back MVP, and he looks like a top 30 QB, top 25 QB. He does not look like the same Rodgers that was here last year. He might be gone. He seriously might be done. He might go just retire after this season and purposely tank. I don't know. I mean, may not purposely tank, but he does not look the same as he just did a couple months ago. Not at all. And I noticed this game against the Jets, and again, I'll have to go back and watch, the Bucs game. I'll have to go back and watch the Giants game. I'll have to go back and watch, the Vikings game, the Bears game, and whatnot, and see if he did this too. But against the Jets, he was forcing it to Lazard, just like he was back when Devontae Adams was here last year. Past couple of years. He would force it to Lazard this year in this game. So he hasn't changed. What's changed is he's gone down to basically what is now, wide receiver 1 that was a wide receiver 2. And, Adams might have been able to catch some of those balls that were thrown to him, that were thrown to Lazard this year. But, Lazard isn't Adams. So should not be forcing it to him. I don't know what's wrong with Christian Watson. He's been injured, yes. But it feels like Rodgers and LaFleur both had a meeting and said, we just don't want this guy. We don't want him to catch balls anymore, because he drops game 1, play 1, was an open touchdown, drops it. Since then, he's been getting jet sweeps, little screens and little things like that, kind of behind the line of scrimmage. And he's never really been targeted deep, never been targeted medium. I think he has only a couple short pass catches. So I don't know what is up with that. I don't know if it's the injury. I don't know if it's just Rodgers just thinks, okay, well, he can't catch a deep ball, so he's not even going to throw to him. I don't know if it's LaFleur that just does not like the pick, even though you were in the fucking room on draft night talking to it with Goody, with Mark Murphy and whatnot, with your coaching staff, picking this guy. I don't know if he hated it since they picked it and this was not his pick. I don't know. But it doesn't feel like Watson, they don't want Watson there. It's weird. It's really weird. And again, I'll keep an eye on the situation for the rest of the year. And maybe it's just because he's not healthy. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But it feels weird to me that it's only just an injury problem, and that's why they're not throwing to him when he's out there on the field. So, I want to be optimistic, but when Dobbs has come in, gets absolutely praised beyond belief in training camp of, oh my God, this guy's going to be a GOAT wide receiver. This guy's, spectacular, doing all these things. And he's lived up to the hype for, what is he, a 4th round, I believe? He's lived up to that hype. He's, exceeded that 4th round pick or whatever he is. And Watson, again, feels like a 5th or 6th round pick, maybe even a 7th round pick. He doesn't feel like he's early 2nd round pick at all. He doesn't feel like that to me. And again, we're not even halfway through, his rookie year. So things can change on a dime like that. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase and whatnot. But I don't think Watson is any of those guys. So I don't know. I don't know. Now, big thing. Trade for a wide receiver. That's not our only problem, because our O-line has looked absolutely atrocious. And I guess let's get back to that real quick before we get on the wide receiver. David Bakhtiari came back, has had a couple games. Had a couple games in the system now and whatnot. And I don't think he's out there every single play. I think he's still kind of on pitch count, I believe it's called. Elton Jenkins absolutely having a terrible year. He had a terrible game against the Jets. He had 3 holding calls just on him alone against the Jets. He has not been having a good year this year. I think is it right guard? I believe they're lining him up as, or left guard. I forget. Whatever. Point is, he should be on the opposite side. That's what everyone's been crying about, saying, hey, he's on the wrong side. Get him on the other side and whatnot. But again, we need Bach to be healthy. We need this O-line to be healthy and whatnot. And they're supposed to be main 5 that were out there, start the game and whatnot. And obviously, they're going to rotate in people in and out and whatnot for linemen. But we're supposed to have a healthy O-line right now, like a top first 5. The first 5 in the depth chart are supposed to be, like healthy supposedly, and they're just not clicking together. They're not looking good together. I don't know. I don't know what the problem with that is. I don't. I don't know what's going on with that. I've always thought we've had great O-line depth for the past 5-10-ish years. I thought we've always done good O-line wise. I mean, Rodgers, again, with a banged up O-line for the past 2 years, just won MVP twice. So maybe it's not on him. Maybe it's on Rodgers not getting the ball out. Maybe that's it. Rodgers is hitting the point. Father time is catching up, and he's not able to get the ball out, like he used to. I don't know why a year and only a couple months changed that, but maybe that's the case. Anyway, wide receivers. Let's get on to that. Trade for one. Kenny Stills has been calling, or not calling, but been saying to people in media and whatnot, like, hey, I would love to go play for the Packers. They don't want to go get him. They've been off and on trying to get Will Fuller, and he's never worked out. OBJ is, not going to be healthy, obviously, until November. They gave him $660,000, or offered him $660,000, I should say, last year. And the only reason he didn't come is because that's the vet minimum, and he wanted what the Rams offered him, which was $4.25, $4.5 million, whatever it was. So you can't offer the vet minimum for an OBJ type of wide receiver. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of OBJ. I think how he just kind of cried his way out of Cleveland and whatnot. I'm not the biggest fan of that. But I'll swallow my pride and say, let's go get him. Pretty much every team is going to want him right now. Like they're all going to want him right now. But he adds another layer, a deep threat. He can bring two corners on one guy, so you can have Dobbs get open, Lazard be one-on-one, Cobb be one-on-one, tight ends, Robert Tonyan be one-on-one, stuff like that. A more known veteran wide receiver that can go deep and whatnot, can take the top off the defense. Then you have a deep ball, which has not been non-existent this year. You're gonna have pushing the safeties back if they're too high, one high, whatever. You're gonna again have maybe 2 corners somewhere in his area. You're gonna have a bunch of people on his side of the field lined up. So something like that. Go out and get someone. Now, I don't think Robbie Anderson is the same way, but Robbie Anderson does not want to play for the Panthers. He just got sent to the locker room by his own staff yesterday during the game against the Rams. Even someone like him, he's not having a spectacular, amazing year, but he's having a pretty okay year. Even another, he's basically a vet. He is basically a vet wide receiver. He is, 4 years in the league or something like that. So, someone like him. There's talks to DJ Moore from the Panthers wanting to, get traded too. And who knows if, the Panthers are going to trade him or not. Let's see, who else? I'm sure there's wide receivers I can't even think of right now that, hey, you can go out and get. So I think what they should be doing today, this week, even before the game, if you can get someone in here Tuesday, tomorrow, get someone in here, or, at least trade for someone tomorrow, and then maybe he's coming in on Thursday or whatever. Maybe he doesn't play against the Commanders this weekend, but then you have some guy, for the Bills, for, when we play the Vikings again. We still have to play the Lions twice a year. I'm not confident in that. I think we play the Rams later this year. I'm trying to think of what else. I'm trying to think of other teams we play. We play the Eagles later this year. We play the Cowboys in a month or something like that. So you have a bunch of good teams coming up. And this wide receiver core is not going to cut it. It's not. It's not. The linemen can't get them time. The wide receivers can't get open. Even again, tight ends, I think we're okay in tight ends. Now, the one thing, and yesterday kind of scared me, but I think it was 20 combined carries or something, or maybe less than that for both running backs. They did not get a lot of time or a lot of plays to run the ball. It was basically Rodgers taking the ball in his hands and throwing the ball. Now, again, you're down, okay? I get that. You're down. Early in the game, though, when it's 7-3 or whatever, or 10-3, you're down a touchdown. Let the running backs get you down the field. We have one of the best backfields in the NFL. Probably top 5 backfield in the NFL in Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. And again, when you give, let's just say it's 20, because I don't remember the exact number, but let's just say it's 20 combined. So you're averaging 10 per one. Averaging, maybe. And that's not a lot of carries. Especially when Rodgers is throwing the ball 41 times yesterday. And you give a total of 20 run plays. That's not relying on our strength. Rodgers, again, I don't know if he's trying to play hero ball or what, or he wants to try to win MVP again, which is, I said before the season, he's not gonna. So, use what we have. Give the ball to Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, the two best. I mean, right now they're better than Rodgers, so the two best players on your team. Tunyon is having a pretty good year too. So, but I don't think I can put Tunyon above Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, especially combined. Again, our backfield combined, they're the best on the team. So, do what our strength is. And I don't know if it's Matt LaFleur doesn't like to run now or what. And again, I get it. When you're down 24-10, I get that you want to throw the ball. But in the first half, they probably maybe had 5 combined carries. Maybe 7, or maybe not even 7. Maybe 5 at the max. I don't know the first half stats for running, for how many plays they ran. But if it's 5, if it's 3 for Aaron Jones, 2 for A.J. Dillon, that's not a lot at all. Like, that's not relying on our strength on offense right now. So, I just wish they would do something. Go get a wide receiver. Rely on your running backs. Switch up the damn play calling. Maybe you have someone else to play call instead of Matt LaFleur out there. I'm sure when you don't have the defense constantly out there, they'll get a little bit better. And again, Joe Barry made adjustments. You could tell. You go back and watch the Giants game to the Jets game. You can tell on defense there are adjustments. Now, it might not feel like it because it's a loss and we got basically blown out by the Jets, but there are adjustments there. So, again, I'm not going to, put a lot of blame on Joe Barry. It's his second year coaching. We're just starting his second year, essentially, 6 games into it. Matt LaFleur's been here for 4 years. And 3 of those, nothing's really changed. So, I hope today they're in meetings, they're talking about it. I'm hoping Goody, I'm hoping Mark Murphy are talking to Matt LaFleur and saying, hey, we have to do something different on offense. And then you pull Rodgers in and you say, hey, you two said 2 completely different things. People are going to run with the stories. Let's get on the same page here. Let's figure this out. That's your franchise QB. It's coming to an end. But that's still your franchise QB. He's been there through now 2 coaches, 1 million players he's seen come and go, and back-to-back MVP. So, do something. Figure something out. I seriously, I can't take this. This is so annoying to just sit here and rant and rant and rant. And I have 2 more ideas of videos that I could put out this week. One of them was a skit, which I'm going to have a lot of fun with making that skit. But I can't do that probably till tomorrow or Wednesday to really start making the skit. So the skit might not come out till Thursday. Maybe we'll see if I can get it done and edited by Wednesday. But, I have another video that I could just sit here and talk about. I could make a video going, who should we target for wide receiver too? There's so many ideas here. I could make a video just literally talking about, Jair's words, Rodgers' words, and is it panic time and what? Like, there's so much content here that I'm just sitting on a gold mine right now, and my channel has really been growing this year since the start of this football season. So I'm totally okay with that, but I hate it. I hate that it's like, okay, I have all this negativity I could do for videos. I would rather be sitting up here 3 videos a week. I'm going to be doing my other stuff like my picks and do my Don Brothers series and whatnot, and then just other little fun videos, maybe a skit a week or something like that. Like, I'd rather be doing easy work, talking about, oh, look, it's a win, it was a blowout win, which we never can do. I would rather that. And it just sucks because I don't try to be negative. And that's why I started out this video with the positive, with the stat that I found, saying like same year 2010 was how the Packers won the Super Bowl. So I try to look at the positives. But there's not a lot. There's not here. Yes, there's talent. There's been talent. And Devontae Adams is not the only one that's, been here, been talent. Alan Lazard has been here, been talented. They call him the Goon because he can block. Robert Tonyan, again, very good. Our running backs. We still have Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, Jair Alexander, Rasul Douglas, Eric Stokes has been working out. Like, there's so many good, talented players on offense and defense, and nothing's clicking. And that's what annoys me. And that's why it's like I could sit here, talk about the coaching, I could talk about, this and that, and I don't want to. I want to be positive, but I can't because there's not a lot of positivity right now. Now, maybe we get to, you know what? Watch the Packers beat the Bills. Watch them beat the Bills. We're going to struggle against the Commanders, and then all of a sudden, somehow, someway, we're going to beat the Bills in Buffalo. Watch it. Watch that happen. We're going to beat the Cowboys by 14. We're going to beat the Eagles and their undefeated streak. We're going to beat the Vikings in Lambeau. We're going to beat the Bears twice. We're going to beat the Lions. Like, just watch. Like, we're sitting here week 6 just complaining about how bad this is. Watch them just flip on a dime and then just start beating these good teams suddenly. It's just... I can see it happening. I really can see it happening. I don't know how. I don't know why. But it just feels like the relax season. Now they didn't, make it far in the playoffs, but they went on a run. I don't know why I can see that. Again, maybe it's just because we have Aaron Rodgers and he's done it before. But maybe that's positivity, is anything can happen any given Sunday. So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to end it there. That's a positive note, a future-looking note of, hey, we could go positive. And we could do, good against these good teams in the future. So that's kind of positive. We're here. It's October 17th, time of recording this. So I don't know what the future looks like. I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to just say maybe we could do good. So that's how I'm going to wrap up here. Let me know your thoughts. This is a 32 and a half, almost 33-minute video as I'm wrapping up here. Let me know your thoughts. What do you hate? What do you love? What's good? What can you find? Maybe I can't find it, but maybe what is good? Something you see that's good for this team as we head to the Commanders and then the Bills after that. So for now, like the video, share the video around, don't subscribe. Let me know your positives. Let me know your negatives. And yeah, I'm nervous for the Commanders. I never thought I would say that. Peace.